Okay, we got 2 people in the chat so far. OBS is freaking out, so I want to make sure this is actually working. Someone say hi. Make sure that this is actually working. There we go. What's up? Marco. Marco's in the chat as usual. Good evening, Sage. Stage AHS. Sorry, I couldn't read that. Where's everybody watching from? What's up, you mad? There we go. Sean Wu, Mason G, whatever. We are 18 now. Audio's working. Evening audio sounds good. What's up, Grumio? Nice. Okay, good. Good. So, yeah. Wow, a lot of people awake tonight. My goodness. That's why I asked where everyone's watching from, because it's already 10:30 at night, and I only just managed to get to the live stream now. I was planning on doing this like all day, but I was balls deep in Shogun 2, one of my favorite games of all time. Banqiao. Oh, yeah, that's right. Marco lives in America. What time is it in America right now? It must be. Well, it has to be early in the morning, right? So like that's why I figured like people work in North America, so they never really get to catch my streams because they're late at night, at least on weekdays anyways. But yeah, Marco's up in Taipei, so that makes sense. I knew Marco would be in the chat. But while I wait for people to tell me where they're watching from, a few things before we get into this story. Because, you know, my latest videos have been a little bit more, I don't know, I try more, I guess, to make the videos look better. And people seem to really like them. They don't get a ton of views, but I think I've found my stride a little bit in it. And so, and they're fun, I guess. They're fun to make. Not in Welland, yo, what's up? Don't forget to like the live stream. Yeah, that's right, Topher. Topher's in the chat. Nice. Topher, you'll like the story that I'll eventually get to. But I reckon Topher's got stuff to do. He's a busy man. Stage AS is watching for the Philippines. Nice. Hi, 10:30 Eastern. Yes, you're up early. Don't you have to like work? Damn tired's in Canada on the way to work. Nice. Self-employed, so I got my own schedule for later. Oh, sick. Nice. That's the way to do it. Shinju, nice. A fellow Taiwan dweller. So anyways, yeah, so I've been liking my own videos finally, the latest ones I've been making. I think they're okay anyways. I can't even remember where I was going with that. Oh yeah, someone said the Philippines, and it's hilarious because on my last video I talked about Central District here in Taichung and how it's kind of, I don't know, fallen on hard times. I called it abandoned. It's not technically, I would say it's kind of pretty much abandoned by local Taiwanese people. It's not really, but it's been taken over by Southeast Asians, which is fine, you know. But it was a point I was making in the video, like why are there so many Southeast Asians in this particular part of Taichung? That's kind of odd. I wonder what caused that. So I went over why. And I also talked about how like my Taiwanese friends tell me that Central District is dangerous. What I didn't mention in the video is why they think it's dangerous, because it's just racism. But so many of the comments in that last video are like, oh, there's so many like Filipinos and Thai people who are committing crimes in Central District, and that's why it's dangerous. And I found that kind of funny, just like they think Filipinos are dangerous people, which I'm sure there's some dangerous Filipino people out there, but I've never met any. Every Filipino I've met's been hilarious, just the best. Woke up at 7 a.m. God damn, your own schedule and you woke up at 7? Vivian Morris, hi Pricey, how's it going? I'm good. I'm excited for this live stream. I wanted to do this all week, but I've just been not doing it. So now I'm finally here and I'm very excited. Amy in Oakland, California. Sick! Oakland is like, what is that? A suburb of LA, isn't it? I want to go see more of California. I've been to California once and I went to like the best part and I loved it so much. I really liked it. Um, she was from Switzerland, back in Taichung in 1 month's time. Nice. Lawrence Van Ruijen. Nice. Yeah, you were in the chat last time. I remember someone was watching from Switzerland. Switzerland's a magical place. It looks really pretty. Last couple of videos have been bangers. Thank you, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. You should do a crazy Nanto adventure. Nanto. I don't know. Nanto's okay. It's just so close to Taichung. It's not really much of an adventure, but there's some, I don't know, there's some good camping and stuff out there. Yo Mad said, yeah, true, I saw a lot of shops with Vietnamese writing in the latest video. Yeah, there's just so many Southeast Asian people there. Which means the best Southeast Asian food probably in the country is in Central District Taichung. It's amazing. And so for my upcoming video, one of my upcoming videos that I'm planning on doing is going to Taipei on my motorcycle for a trip. Hence the motorcycle trip to Taipei fund. I want to make a video, so it's, you know, it would be funding something that you guys would get to see, and I'll tell you about it, and you tell me if you think it's worth funding. But I'll tell you about that a little bit later. I feel like now that we have 35 people here, it's best to get into the meat of this live stream, the reason I'm making it. So cool, good luck, yo. Thanks, Vivian. Here from the dark part of Denmark. What does that mean? What's the dark part of Denmark? I don't know much about Denmark. I've met a few Danish people. There's a lot of Danish people here who are, I don't know if they're engineers, but like they lay down the cables, the undersea cables that go out to all the wind farms here in Taiwan, because Taiwan invests heavily into green energy. And so they have a shitload of wind turbines all along the coasts, in the ocean, they're everywhere. And so they hire a lot of people from like England, Denmark, the Dutch, I think. I don't know. A lot of sort of European countries, and those guys come out here and they just lay down cables. No, Oakland is definitely not a suburb of LA. Oakland is Northern California, and it's a very urban, diverse city. Oh, okay, cool. Sorry. I'm not American. I don't know these things. Which country we buy in today? I know, yeah, let's figure that out. Which country we want to buy. We don't have the best reputation here in Asia. Taiwan is just a bit more direct and saying it out loud. Yeah, that's the thing. It's so funny about the Philippines. Like, I grew up in Ottawa where there wasn't really, it's a pretty white city, okay, especially where I was growing up. Like, in my school, in elementary school, we had, I don't know, 2 Asian people, and they were both Filipino. And then in high school, all the other Asian people were like pretty much Filipino, a couple of Hong Kong people. I mean, second generation, right? They're Canadian, but their parents came from those countries. We didn't have anyone from Japan, no one from Korea. We had, that was it. Like, those are the only Asians we had. And so I grew up with, oh, nice. I got a super chat, but it looks like no message. It's from Sir, ... Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Also, sorry, hang on. I got to turn back on my speakers because the Wu-Tang is for the children alert went off. Anyways, so I grew up with Filipino people, and I love them. And they have a great reputation, at least in North America. They're known as, like, you know, really happy-go-lucky, fun, welcoming, warm people. In Asia, they just have, like, I don't know. They're near, like, the bottom rung of, like, races in Asia. But yeah, it might be good to have a second-generation source so it doesn't take 30% like YouTube. Yeah, no, fair enough. That is a good point. I do have Patreon, but I haven't uploaded there for a long time. So anyways, yeah, last video I was talking about Central District, how it sort of became a bit forgotten. Taiwanese people don't like going there anymore. A lot of the buildings are left in disrepair, dilapidated, all of that. And I thought about, I have 2 videos I want to make, and I'll tell you about both of them. And the next video I want to make is how Taichung lost its soul. That was the video I was referring to at the end of my last video. It's an interesting story. And before I make that video, I figured I'd do a live stream and tell you lucky people all about it before the video ever even comes out. I like to do these because it helps me, I don't know, get my thoughts in order and stuff. I've already written a bit of a script. But yeah, these just kind of help me get it sort of straight. So Taichung has just never had an easy time. What was this, Vivian? My cousin's brother married Thailand. Thailand people are also friendly. Really? You know what's funny? I've never met anyone from Thailand before, I don't think. Ever. I've never been to Thailand. I have no Thai friends. There you go, Marco. Maybe that's the country we'll buy next. We'll buy all of Thailand. It should be a lot cheaper than Australia. So yeah, Taichung has never had a good history with like fires, right? So I talked about in 1995 there was that big fire at Welcome Bar, the Wu'erkang, I think in Chinese was this fire, killed 64 people. It was awful. And then that spawned the ghost ships story. So in Taiwan, they have these ships that carry people who die, their souls, to the afterlife. And these ships are real. What I mean by that is, like, Taiwanese people build these ships in temples, and then they take them to the beach and they burn them, and that like helps the souls go to the afterlife, right? That's not an urban legend. That's a cultural thing that happens here in Taiwan. I wonder if I can find photos of it. What are they called? Wang Si, I think. They're called a king's ship. I'll show you some pictures here, if you care. So yeah, they kind of look like this. You'll see them in, am I covering it? Hang on. I'm kind of covering it, but they sort of look like this. And they get burned, and then yeah, so that's the thing, okay? But in Taichung's urban legend, the king's ship had a quota of 100 souls before it could move to the afterlife. But all of the souls on the ship have to die in the same manner. Okay, but only 64 people died in that fire. It wasn't enough to fill the quota so the ship can go to the afterlife. And so the ship was stuck there, floating through the buildings. And so now the urban legend in Taichung is that anytime there's a fire that takes a life or many lives, people report seeing that ship above the burning building. And this happens weirdly a lot in Taichung. The abandoned building that I was in that video, the Qianyue building, also burned down. That was in 2005. I filmed pretty extensively the hotel. It's one of my favorite shots. I hope I don't come off as a dick for saying this. But I really... Why is my speakers are off? That's very odd. Hang on. It shouldn't be like that. I'm not going to play any audio or anything, but this hotel that you probably saw in my video used to be a... Oh, is it in the background of this shot? I didn't even notice that. Huh. It is. No way. Check this out. So in this scene, the building in the background, hang on, this one used to be like a department store, and it burned down. Here's another ship. Where did it go? Where did it go? Hang on. Sorry. Don't know if this matters. That hotel used to be a department store that also burned down. So like just things burn down and the ghost ship passes through it. And so after the fire in 1995, they impeached the mayor. Government got in a ton of trouble. It was bad. People were not happy with their government, you know. And then, you know, the 921 earthquake happened. That infuriated not just people in Taichung, but all over Taiwan. That earthquake killed thousands. It was devastating. It was awful. And so, yeah. But these fires would happen in areas where there were like a lot of nightclubs, bars, KTVs, you know, nightlife, like where people go for fun and stuff like that. And Taichung had this, oh, nice. UK Maxi, member for 27 months. Support the channel. Thanks, YouTube, for showing me where my simp loyalties are. Cheers, thank you. I have no idea what that means, but thank you. And hang on, I'll get to the chat in a second. I just want to get the story out before I fucking... I'm dumb as hell, okay? I'll get to the chat in a second, I promise. So Taichung had this reputation before all these fires, right? Before, we'll say 2011, foreshadowing. Taichung was like the most fun city on the whole island, okay? Taipei was kind of like, you know, a proper big city where the government was, and it was kind of fun, but whatever. Kaohsiung was old and kind of run down, and a lot of retired people lived there. Taichung was like where it all happened. The best bars were in Taichung, and they were everywhere because there were no real zoning laws, right? Like, people would just open a bar in some alleyway or on some random street, and they would just do it on like on the wrong license. Like, they would say like, oh yeah, we're a tea shop, but really they're a bar, right? And that would happen all over the city. And so like there were just bars, clubs, dance halls, KTV, whatever, dotted throughout the whole city. It was party central. Okay. Today, Taichung is not like that. Taichung does not have that reputation at all. If you ever come to Taichung, if you ever lived in Taiwan or visited Taiwan, you'll probably, a lot of people think it's boring. And that's fair enough, okay? I thought it was boring for a long time. I still think it's not like the best place ever. It's a great place to live, not a great place to visit. It's just a place where people live. It's like, I mean, calling it a city, I mean, it is a big city, but it's more of just like a really big suburb, if that makes sense. It's not as fun as Kaohsiung is, especially since COVID. Kaohsiung has like really gotten their shit together, and they've transformed a lot of the old piers, like a lot of the old docks and stuff, into these really cool areas that people go hang out in. Taipei is Taipei. It's got that big city vibe. Taichung just has nothing going for it as far as fun is concerned, or at least there's nothing in Taichung that you can do that you can't do in other places, you know. So today Taichung has a reputation for being, I mean, it doesn't have a reputation, honestly. I don't know what people think about when they think of Taichung. Probably not much. Okay, so what happened? And so like I said, if you've ever lived in Taichung, you probably know this story if you've heard about it. Okay. Yeah, okay. What caused the downfall of party capital in Asia? Taichung. Yes, that's what we're getting to. This, by the way, this story is one of the first stories I had ever heard, because I remember showing up here and I was asking my friends, like, what is up with this city? Like, why, for such a large city, like, there aren't very many places to go out, you know? Like, what's up with this? And everyone knows the story, at least of it. So, okay, so 2011. Yet again, what do you know? Another fire. This time, the fire caused the whole city to pretty much lose its soul. And it's kind of crazy how it completely transformed the way the city is. And there's this really great article on it that I've opened up here from the Taipei Times. What is up with these ads? I mean, it's no wonder like traditional news sites are going down the shitter because of the amount of pop-up ads they have all over their goddamn website. But I don't know if I want to read this article because it's like, it's a live stream. Who the fuck wants to sit here and watch me read an article? But it is a good article if you want to read it. But we'll talk about the fire because, I mean, this is a good way to get my thoughts in order. So, yeah, 1:30, 2011, the popular venue A La Pub, a performer with a torch ignited the soundproofing on the ceiling, causing a massive fire that witnesses initially thought was part of the performance. Within 3 minutes, the entire venue was engulfed in flames. Of the roughly 70 people packed out in the bar, many were on the first floor and could escape. However, many on the mezzanine floor overlooking the stage were not so lucky. There was panic, and unaware that there was a clearly marked exit behind them, many tried to escape via the narrow stairway they had come up on. It was a devastating tragedy. 9 perished and 12 were injured. Public outrage exploded in the aftermath. Initially, Major Hu tried to respond with rational measures, but quickly had to back down. Nationally, fire code crackdowns on nightlife venues rippled across the landscape, causing headaches, but they survived for the most part. Not so in Taichung. By the way, this article is called "The Day the Party Died in Taichung," which I think is a very appropriate title for this. Okay, and then the purge. And this is the part that really caused the city to lose its soul, right? So remember its reputation, right? Taichung had this party central represent. It was so much fun, and very much off the books or deregulated. People would just kind of skirt by regulations to open up a bar and make it more fun, and that did make it dangerous. And they talk about it here, like artists, especially musicians, flock to the city, escaping high rents and lack of rehearsal space in Taipei. Taichung's music scene was arguably the biggest and best in the country, especially for Taiwanese punk and heavy metal bands, as well as foreign bands. And so unfortunately, as a result of this fire, the city completely changed. And it goes on to explain those changes, but essentially, just to get the gist of it, it was a very heavy-handed approach where they shut down pretty much every single bar and club, pub that you could name. Most of them closed down. They did not survive the purge. And Taichung has never recovered from that. It is extremely difficult to open a bar in Taichung legally. And that's kind of the gist of the story. And also, like, things like this, right? They were ordered to close by 10 p.m., and restrictions placed on what type of alcohol they could serve. Like, if you run a bar and you're forced to close at 10 p.m., you are not making money. You're like, that's just the death. It's, you know, of your bar. Local restaurants and Japanese restaurants faced no such problems. Unlike many foreign cuisines where it's customary to have drinks after plates are cleared, the local custom is to leave the food on the table while drinking, so no one questioned their restaurant status, forced them to close early, covered up mirrors, or limit their drink section. Even barbecue spots, which are typically meant to be enjoyed while drinking alcohol, were exempt and escaped the most basic fire inspections in some cases. So yeah, he goes on to talk about how, like, a lot of these new laws, or even some of the older ones, were starting to be targeted for, like, they used to be used to target gangsters because, you know, Taichung, in case you didn't know, is completely run by the mob. They own most of West District, and I don't say that to sound cool. Everyone knows that about Taichung. And so these laws were put into place years ago to sort of target these businesses to kind of keep the mob under control, you know, if they were ever, like, doing something crazy or they got a little out of hand. But now These laws were used to shut down nightclubs and bars and clubs and all of that. And also, let's say, for example, a bar opened in your apartment building, because why not? The zoning laws just didn't matter. And you've got a personal vendetta against that bar owner because they're loud all the time and they're never quiet. Then they'll just like call the police. And then the police come and shut down your bar in like 2 seconds. And so, yeah, and so I want to make a video about that. Obviously a little bit more interesting than how I just explained it, at least I hope. Anyways, I haven't even gotten around to filming it, but I want to talk to people who lived in Taichung around that time, because I do know a few people, and they always talk about like how crazy Taichung was and how different it is now. Now that I'm explaining the story, it does sound a little fucking underwhelming. Okay, sorry, let me get back to the chat. I apologize. Taichung lost its soul when it destroyed its nightlife. Exactly, yeah, so Marco knows it. Yeah, it's absolutely annihilated its nightlife. People are surprised. They come to Taichung. Like, how many people are in Taichung? What's the population? Like 4 million? More than that? Population of Taichung. Oh, no, okay, 3 million, never mind. It's the second most populous city in Taiwan. Okay, yeah. But still, 3 million people is a lot of people. And there's like not... People come here and they're shocked how quiet it is at nighttime. Like there's nowhere to go. But yeah, Marco's got it, yeah. Chudster. This is the first time I've ever been on a live Prozzy show. I didn't think he did them. Oh, sorry guys, that was my phone. Apologies. I'm usually good at turning that off. Peggy messaged me. I haven't seen Peggy in so long. I did do them. I do them. Hello. Chud Shuster, does Prozzy still talk to Seamoke and Winston? Yes. I swear to God, I get that question every single live stream. Yeah, we still chat. Dutch Formosa says same. Okay. Are we going to be the co-kings of Thailand? I think we should continue being on their dear leader. You know, we're already the dear leader of Australia, so why not? Because of the incompetent Mama mayor, too much corruption in Taichung government, too many bullets, or all of the above. Well, again, in 2011, like that happened, that fire happened before, if you're talking about the current mayor of Taichung, I think that happened before she was the mayor, because this is 2011. And they wanted to impeach that mayor the same way they did in 1995 from the former fire that happened back then. Dang insane, indeed. And actually, as a matter of fact, I'll show you. I'm going to do this in my video as well. Let me get into maps here for a second. Hang on, I'll share my screen in just a minute. Bear with me. Here it is. Okay. So I didn't even know this. I've been to this restaurant. Actually, speaking of Winston, I went to this restaurant with Winston years and years and years and years and years ago. Okay, this restaurant. Let me get a better angle here. This looks like, sorry, is my screen on? Yes, it is. This looks like, god damn it, sorry. This looks like an old Japanese restaurant, right? Like it's been there for hundreds of years and really cool. That's what I thought. It's made out of wood. It looks really interesting. It's not old. This restaurant was put here not too long ago. Remember I said that the fire happened in 2011, right? So we're going to click on more dates. We're going to go all the way back to 2011. And what time? Okay, sorry, let's just quickly check the date of the fire in this article. It said March 6th. And this is December of 2011. Here it is. Now it's no longer a Japanese bar or restaurant. It is the Ala Pub. And this is the fire that caused Taichung to completely change. And actually, you know it's after the fire, one, because I said the dates, and two, you can actually see under the roof, it's all charred. Um, and and yeah, and so again, because this bar was never able to, oh shit, there's the Japanese restaurant again. It went back in time. Because they weren't ever able to. Jesus Christ, yeah, you can see how black it is up there from the fire. That is mad. They weren't ever able to reopen. It was like the death knell of Taichung nightlife. And this was a super popular pub, by the way. This fire happened on a what? March 6, 2011. I've already done my research on this. It's in my notes somewhere on my other computer. But it was like a weekday, right? A fucking school night. And there was like over 70 people in this bar. That would never happen in Taichung today. But yeah, it's crazy to see the difference. Japanese bar, blah, 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 nice and safe. Yeah. Craziness. Has anybody ever counted how many people have died in a fire in Taichung since the first fire? Have they got 100 yet? That seems like an accounting problem. Um, yeah, like when is it going to fill the quota, That's a good question. So it can finally move to the afterlife. The ship is the friends we made along the way. Yeah. DPP sucks. Okay, we're getting political now. Taichung Tiger, become the tiger you were born to be. What? Metro area is 4.2 million. Yeah, that's where the 4 million I thought was. I had it in my head. Didn't know that about Taichung. Been there a few times. I'm interested in hearing more. Next Japanese restaurant, noodles is good, by the way. Oh, really? How did it look in 2009? Well, a lot different. Like you can see, it wasn't on fire. I don't know if this tree was taken down because of the fire or not. Like if they had to cut it down or something. I'm not really sure. 2009 is the year I graduated high school. But yeah. It's actually interesting to see. You can see the roof. It's just corrugated metal. And I couldn't even tell it was corrugated metal in 2011 because it was so burnt. Fucking crazy. Actually, something else I'm curious about, that building that I went to go explore. The Qianyue building in Central District that was abandoned. Excuse me. I wonder what that would have looked like in 2011. Jesus Christ. Where is it? There's Taichung Park. I'll just search it. The Qianyue building. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. Sorry, let me get my screen back up. It's a bit hard to see. Yeah, it's a bit better to see. So this is the building. The only thing the first floor isn't abandoned. Okay, so like all these shops are still operational. But anything above the first floor, there's nothing in here. Like some of the windows have been blown out. Like there's just nothing in this building. It's completely abandoned. It's super creepy. But I'm quite curious to see. And it has been abandoned since 2005. And Google only goes back to 2009. But I wonder if it looked like less abandoned in 2009. It does not. It looks just as shit in 2009 as it does. And what's really cool, actually, holy shit, all the outside of this is pink for whatever reason. Oh, it's still kind of pink. Okay, never mind. But anyways, I remember seeing an alley that was painted pink, and I thought that was interesting. So yeah, that's what it looks like. It's such a creepy building. And then 2009. Excuse me. Actually, in 2009, you can see they're building that hotel that I said that burned down. Yeah, it still looks like shit in 2009. That's crazy. Do you think work lifestyle has gotten worse, that people are hitting pubs less often? You mean work-life balance, maybe? I'm not really. I don't think it's affected the way. I don't think so. I think Taichung is just now, instead of being popular with young people, musicians, artists, university students, now it's a lot more popular with families. So the housing market has just gone through the roof. It's not as expensive as Taipei, but it's going up. And it's a lot of families. It's a lot of like people with kids. There's a lot of schools here. It's relatively safe, But Taichung, the only thing Taichung's known for is just that it's run by gangsters. It's run by the mob. And again, I'm not making that up. Anyone in Taiwan will tell you that. It's not a secret. It's an open secret. So I don't know how much. I think it's just affected, like, Taichung's just not fun anymore, because of that fire. The government shut everything down. There were entire alleyways that were like full of bars that you can go to. All gone, all shut down. And it's just so sad because it's like, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me so much anymore. Like, I don't drink anymore, so I don't really go out as often. But I still like to go out, I still like to live in an exciting place. But now it's just like there's nothing around really at nighttime. So oftentimes, like when I was drinking, me and my friends on the weekend would be like, where do you want to go? And it'd be like the same pub, again and again and again and again, because they're just not open all the time, or they close down pretty often. And I just find it really interesting, and I hope I can make the video interesting, that one event, that one fire at Allah Pub, that one event just completely changed the entire city. Like it literally lost its soul. It lost what it was like known for, Imagine your own hometown wherever you live, and imagine its reputation, or imagine like what it makes you feel. This is kind of the intro to my video, by the way, on my script. I'm just remembering. Imagine like what your hometown makes you feel. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I'm from Ottawa, and weird things I remember from Ottawa is like the smell of fresh cut grass in the summer. You don't really smell that a whole often in Taiwan, as you can imagine. There's not a whole lot of grass here, but that's something I really remember. Or the fact that like you have to change your clothes in a day in Canada because it might be 32 degrees Celsius in the daytime in Ottawa because it's hot and humid. It's a fucking swamp. It's awful. But then at nighttime, it'll be like, 16 degrees Celsius all of a sudden when the sun goes down. And I remember those things. And beyond that, beyond my own like personal way I remember the city, it's the way it looks, the way it smells, the way it feels, is also Ottawa's the capital of Canada, so it's a government city. It's also kind of known as being a bit boring, a bit by the book, because people who live there have often federal government jobs, pretty well paid, they're not...
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children. Who's that? Fabi9213. €5, I think. I like the rooftop bar of the Taihu Brewery in Taichung. Yeah, that place is sick. I like that a lot too. Actually, funny thing about Taihu, by the way, thank you so much for that. That is going to go to my Taipei trip, the fund, which I'll tell you about in but a moment. The really cool thing about Taihu, for me, is that their smash burgers are fucking delish. They have one in Taipei as well. But That yeah, the smash burgers in Taihu are amazing, but that place is cool too. Uh, does Taichung experience earthquakes? Yeah, of course it does. Some pretty big ones. Ottawa is the Taichung of Canada. Ah, that's good. I like that. I don't know why it doesn't let me like your message. Who is that? Moro Moro das friend. If I'm saying that incorrectly, I promise. I apologize. Yeah, Ottawa is the Taichung of Canada. That's a fucking great quote. Too true. Um, but anyways, my point was is that let's say like a fire happened in Ottawa, and a big fire did happen in Ottawa in the 30s. It leveled the entire city. Um, but then the government like, you know, just shut down everything that made Ottawa Ottawa. It would be so fucking weird. You know, and just like imagine your own hometown like that, just completely lost its soul. Might even be a good thing for Ottawa. It might actually like, you know, give it an injection of fun. Like when we were kids, we used to just drive across the border to Gatineau because it's more fun. Even though Gatineau is like way smaller than Ottawa. Taipei remains undefeated, says Captain FAL. I like Taipei a lot. I just wish it wasn't so expensive. Which is why I have my super chat fund here. I'll explain that in a minute. Vivian, 20 more years ago, there were have photo booths, amusement park lines, inline skates, good weekends to go. Now nothing. Yeah, exactly. Although an ice skating rink just opened here in Taichung. I'm pretty excited to go check that out sometime. Pricing for Prime Minister? Jesus Christ, I'd make a terrible Prime Minister. Yes, best, burgers in Taiwan. I agree. I think they're fucking fantastic. I'm a fiend for smash burgers. I like making smash burgers at, like when I had a kitchen. But their smash burgers are really good. Stage AHS. There's no way I'm saying that right. Anyways, was in Ottawa in 2014. It's Ottawa's Canberra, stuck between two major metro areas, Montreal and Toronto, Sydney and Melbourne. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Montreal is always. I also find Toronto a bit dull, to be honest with you. Toronto just doesn't have. It's a big city, but I always feel like I'm so empty when I'm in Toronto. I don't really get it. I haven't spent enough time in Toronto, really, I suppose. I spent more time in Montreal. I fucking love Montreal. Montreal is so much fun. So much better than Ottawa. Thing is about Ottawa is like you land yourself a federal job. You know, your retirement's taken care of. You get a decent salary. You get to buy a pretty nice 3-bedroom house for like an okay price. I think the prices have gone down a bit. You know, the people who live there aren't risk takers. They're not people who invest in the stock market or run their own business. It's not very entrepreneurially friendly. The whole country of Canada is not entrepreneurial friendly. If you own a small business in Canada, it's fucking hard. But Ottawa especially so, because everyone's on government money, you know, people are safe. That's what they like in Ottawa. That's kind of the way it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just means that the city's boring as hell as well. Prozzy for governor of Taichung. Yeah. Love the street food of Taiwan. Nice. Yeah, street food in Taiwan's pretty good. So, anyways, that was one video I want to make. But again, these videos take time because I have to find my buddy PJ, who owns a bar here in Taichung, and he ran his bar in Taichung since 1996, I think. So he's been here a long time. And so I sent him a message, but he is on vacation in Thailand, so I'm not able to interview him just yet. And he never got back to me. I don't know why. So I'm guessing I'm just going to have to show up at his bar with a camera and hope he'll let me interview him. Or I'll interview Pajama Andy, Andy, I don't know why I said his name like that, Pajama Andy, who's my good buddy. He's British. He's lived in Taichung for ages. And he's the fucking best. He's a legend. Just to get firsthand, you know, because I only got here in like 2018. So, you know, I want to get firsthand, what am I trying to say? Firsthand fucking shit from people who lived here at that time. So yeah, just joined. I live in Ottawa. Oh shit, you live in my hometown, homie. Ice Boy 5469. What's living in Ottawa like? I've always thought about like maybe going back to Ottawa because I grew up there and I have, even though Ottawa's like shit and everyone from Ottawa shits on Ottawa, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's known as the city that fun forgot. I've always thought about going back, but I don't know what the fuck I would do there. Yeah, hey bro, it's not as boring these days. Everyone just loves saying it's boring, but compared to Taichung, probably yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, we're only an hour away, hour and a half from Montreal, and if I'm going for a night out, I'm going to fucking Montreal, of course. Montreal's awesome. Ottawa can't hold a candle to Montreal. PJ's great, love it. Oh, nice. Vivian's been to PJ's. Your friend Abdel. Surprised you haven't shot a video with Xiaofei. I haven't seen Xiaofei in years. I don't know what happened to him. You know, the thing, like, most of us YouTubers here in Taiwan were under, foreign YouTubers anyway, were under an agency. Didn't mean anything. It just meant that, like, you know, back in the day, they would help us get sponsored videos and stuff. And we all had the same agency, and so we all used to hang out together. But that agency, I don't know what happened to them. I haven't heard from them in fucking years, which is why I don't get sponsored anymore. You'll notice my videos are... Whoops, I just broke this thing. Oops. Oh, shit. It's this, like, peppermint thing that Topher got me. And I broke it, and it's got a very... It's like a smelling salts thing, but it's... No, it's all... But it's like a mint thing. Topher got it for me from Thailand. What the fuck was I just talking about? Oh yeah, you'll notice that's why none of my videos are sponsored. I just don't... I never reach out to sponsors. I don't have, like... I always feel bad. Like, can you want to pay to be on my shitty video? You know what I mean? So that's why it's nice to have agents to do it for me. The city's growing more. Yeah, Montreal is one of the best cities in the world for partying, so it's hard to compare that to Ottawa. Yeah, Ottawa's growing a lot. It's pretty crazy. I'm from Orleans in Ottawa, and Orleans like has doubled the size since I was growing up in the 90s there. He brought a giant house and owns an awesome rafting company. It would be cool if you did some rafting with him. Yeah, yeah, that would be cool. I think he bought a house that was like, he got scammed off it, didn't he? But you'll be the minority here. I'll say that. Yeah, I did notice when I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but I did notice the last time I went home to visit, like 4 or 5 years ago, you know, the demographics in Ottawa have changed a whole lot since I lived there. Let's meet up in PJ's. I remember he say he'll be back on the 18th. Oh, nice. Okay. Is Alan still getting Emma Mattress sponsorships? Yeah, he is. They dropped me for whatever reason. I don't know why. Again, I don't have any communication with these companies. It's all through that agency, and I haven't heard from them in a long time, so I don't know. I would love to get like a VPN spot or something, you know, but no. That's why I like doing these live streams. They're one of the very few ways that I can get paid, and it's also fun because I get to talk to you guys like directly, which is cool. 56 people are watching now. That's great. So okay, so maybe
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children. Wu-Tang. You mad? 10 Australian dollars. Nice. This donation is brought to you by Emma Mattress. You dick. If you actually work for Emma Mattress, I got a fucking bone to pick for you. Where's my goddamn sponsorships? I did good work for Emma. I sold a lot of I actually have no idea how many mattresses I sold through them. Cheers, man. Thank you so much. That's going to go to my trip money. Yeah, demographics, I guess it's Canada in general, though. Yeah, I mean, you know, the Trudeau government went fucking nuts with immigration, didn't they? But yeah, thank you so much. You mad? 10 Australian dollars. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'll tell you where that money is going to in a second. I think it's nice to know what you guys are like, where your money's going for this. You know, your friend Abdel says Montreal is pretty dead since COVID. Really? Toronto is awesome if you're young professional in a good paying field, many network opportunities. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, I've only been to Toronto a handful of times, so I'm not, I don't, I just don't know much about Toronto, but every time I do go, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of whatever, you know? Who is this? I just watched your video. The contrast between Taichung Central District and areas like Shitun and Nantun are really striking. I'm curious about what caused such a huge difference in the landscape. I mean, I feel like my video kind of went over that, but that's okay. I mean, Central District was built like 150 years ago or whatever, right? So it looks a lot different. And then all the Taiwanese people left that district pretty much overnight after the ghost stories. The ghost stories of, you know, the ghost ship that was passing through all the buildings, carrying the people, the souls of the people who died in the fires. And so Taiwanese people also thought that because the buildings were so old, a lot of them were fire traps. And so, and also, you know, the city grew. City Hall moved further west. All the new shopping malls moved further west. So all of those things combined basically made Central District empty out. And actually, the building just across from here, this abandoned building that I was in, the building just down the street, this place, Asian Square, you know, 20, 30, 40 years ago, this was super popular with Taiwanese people. Now, Taiwanese people never go anywhere near this fucking building, like ever. My Taiwanese friends are terrified of this building. And if you go in this building, I have a few scenes in my last video of the inside of this building. It is almost half abandoned. It's just full of Filipino, Vietnamese, Thai, whatever, restaurants and shops. And there's actually, funnily enough, this is a good story. Inside this building, there's a nightclub called, well, we call it, the foreigners in Taichung call it the Philly Disco. Because a lot of Filipino workers in Taiwan work as like, I don't know what you would call them, live-in maids for elderly Taiwanese people. And they work a lot. And they only get one day off a week, like a Sunday or something. And then, you know, the next day they go back to work really early. And so here at the Philly Disco in this building, they party on a Sunday at like 2 p.m. until like 7 p.m. and then they all go home. It's so fucking weird. I've been to the Philly Disco in this building with my friends. It was so much fun, but also so weird. I get that Taichung people are a bit racist to Filipino people. I can't tell you how fucking much I love Filipino people. They're so much fun. I mean, this nightclub is in this dingy, dark, creepy-ass building. And the nightclub is, like, kind of dingy as well. But fuck me, do they ever party hard. Dude, they party like it's their last night on Earth. And I went to the Philippines a few years ago. I had a fucking blast. Everyone was so goddamn nice to me. And the people that I grew up with that were Filipino were also really nice to me as well. So yeah, but this building is just untouched by Taiwanese people, completely emptied. And so yeah, I hope that answers your question. Montreal isn't dead. Oh shit, we got some... Someone thinks it's not dead. I hope it's not dead. I love Montreal. The Moridas, you can go to the 7-Eleven and get something similar with the mint nose stick in Taiwan. Probably a different smell. Yeah, probably. I need an Eva Air sponsorship. Fuck me, dude. I would love an Eva Air sponsorship. Give me a fucking Starlux. Is that the is that the name of the new luxury airliner? They could sponsor me to go home to visit. That'd be great. Yo, Praz, you sure? Be there 18th. I'd pay you a Coke and water. Oh, thanks, Vivian. I think we should turn the ghost ship into a new rapid transit line. Good fucking luck putting a trap, a transit line in Taichung, dude. The amount of like bullshit that happens trying to put transit lines in Taichung is just, it's endless. We did Philly disco in that building. Did I take you to the Philly disco before, Marco, here? I don't think I have. I took fucking Dion. I'll tell you about Dion in a minute. Your friend Abel, Montreal nightlife peaked in 2012. Everything was super expensive now. Oh, is super expensive now. I just walked downtown and the amount of for rent commercial signs was insane. Fuck, really? Dude, I was in Montreal in 2012. I wasn't living there, but I went to go a bunch of times with my friends and we would party so hard. It was fucking awesome. Drinks were so much cheaper in Montreal at the pub than they were in Ottawa. God, it was great. This is where those maids loosen up. Yeah, loosen their stress. Good to know. Yeah, exactly. Hey, D Junior, what's up? Wait, is that the Southeast Asian Market building? I went up to the top floor and it was just full of South Asian people doing karaoke and partying. Yeah, that's it. That's the same one. So I tuned in looking for you, dishing some tea on some political stuff and going on in Taiwan that I hear of. Know of influence of the whole Asian news cycle, NVIDIA. What? I can't read that. You got to put more periods and commas in that. I can't read that. I apologize. You could post multiple times a day. Man, if I had the time, I would. There's a lot of things that can be bought in those markets. Yeah. I didn't know Black Pearl was a thing in Taichung. It is, but the ship doesn't go in the water. It goes in the sky. I last watched you were cat sitting. What happened? Kitty okay? Oh, yeah. Cat got sold. Who bought it? I can't remember. Somebody bought the cat. Dude, you were hilarious with Peggy. Yeah, I love Peggy. I should reply to her. She just messaged me. Peggy's great. Peggy's too famous for me now. She's forgotten where she's from. She has to come back to Taichung. Peggy's from Taichung. She's got to come back and hang out with me again. Do more food videos. I don't know. People don't really... I don't think I do very good food videos, to be honest. For views, yeah. Your friend Abel says, my favorite hiking spot in Taiwan is Simen Reservoir near Taoyuan. Saw a few Ferraris driving there. Oh, cool. You were hiking and saw Ferraris? Must have been a nice road. So yeah, so that's one video, how Taichung lost its soul. I hope I make it good. I don't know. I hope it's not... The problem is, I actually...
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
We teach the children. Fabi again, €5. Thank you. Good Lord, this Taipei trip looks like it's actually going to happen now. Didn't you want to include food more into your videos? Maybe Taiwanese breakfast? Miss it. Besides, why do you not include Chinese titles in your videos? Okay, good question. I think that... So, the vast majority of the content that Taiwanese people watch is food. I made a whole video about this. Food is one of the central... It's one of the core pillars of Taiwanese culture and society. And I mean this. It sounds like I'm exaggerating things. I'm not. Food is all Taiwanese people talk about. It is all they think about. It's what they plan their trips around. It's what they look forward to most in the day. It is their reason for life. Food represents how much they care about each other. It represents love. It represents life, afterlife. Everything is food. Taiwanese culture, and you'll know this when you come here, it revolves around food. It's all they fucking talk about. Once you learn Chinese, you realize you didn't have to learn 90% of it. If you can just learn how to talk about food, you'll survive in Taiwan just fine. And so I liked having food in my videos because I knew Taiwanese people would like to watch it. But now I'm just so sick of like making them. So I don't know. But maybe, who knows? You know, I'm not against putting food in them. I just, you know, I also haven't had Taiwanese breakfast in a long time. And so your second part, why don't I include Taiwanese titles in my videos? I do. YouTube, I actually learned this from Marco, who's in the chat here, Hardware Hoarder. YouTube allows me to put multiple titles in a video. So if your YouTube settings are in English, you will see my English title. If your YouTube settings are in Chinese, you'll see my Chinese title. So I do have Chinese titles. It's just that I make a thumbnail for you guys, my English-speaking audience, and I make a title for you. And then I make another thumbnail for my Taiwanese audience. So I actually have to make 2 thumbnails. That's why my videos take so fucking long to make. Because I have to make the video, then I have to make the subtitles and a second thumbnail. It just takes fucking forever. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, you know, that's the way it is here when you're a YouTuber in Taiwan. So yeah, thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate that. I'm from Taipei. I watched Peggy's podcast. Oh, really? I haven't been on Peggy. I remember I was bothering her for so long. I was like, Peggy, how come you haven't had me on her podcast? Like, what the fuck? But then I realized Peggy won't have me on her podcast for the same reason Koo won't have me on his podcast. You want to know a really funny fucking story? So, I was on Koo's podcast. Me and Alan were on the podcast, but he shot the whole thing, filmed the whole thing, and then he had to tell us later on that he couldn't release it. And we were like, why? And he's like, because it was so fucking boring. Those people would have me on their podcast because they have nothing to ask me. They have no questions. People are always like, well, why don't you do a live stream, like a Q&A? And I'm like, because no one has any questions. Like, I'm not an interesting person. No one has anything to ask me. I'm completely boring, which I found so fucking funny. Stage AS, yep, the new airline is Starlux. If you're thinking about visiting Manila, let me know. I can lend you a condo if you just need a place to crash. Oh, cheers, man. I appreciate that. That's cool. Most of my friends live in Cebu, but I think I know a few people in Manila as well. You could make food videos that would get watched. Yeah, talked about that. His titles are in Chinese if your computer is set to Chinese. Yeah, said that already. Did not know. Yeah, I used to put both, but it helped him separate the languages that Taiwanese people click on if they say Chinese, but doesn't alienate. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Sorry, that was my... I fucking love the way that I shot this, by the way. Not to pat myself on the back, but the way this is framed was so cool. Okay. Because food is input and output, so brain throw from the tongue, and the new flavor combos are searched for. Hot meal and cold. Sugar cream topper. What are you doing? I don't know. Ugh. Every morning I was struggling to choose between Taiwanese breakfast and Western brunch. Yeah. I'm never awake for breakfast, so I never have to choose. Maybe incorporate horror in food, make it more interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I remember studying Taichung in 2016, also the year its population surpassed Kaohsiung's. Oh, wow. We used to go to that building for karaoke, and I never saw any Southeast Asians there back then. Really? I'd be surprised, because there's a lot. That explains why my phone, Chinese, and laptop English seem to get different video titles for each channel. Yes, that would explain it. A la pub. Yep, that's the pub we were talking about. What happened to the YouTuber sensation gal who was in North Korean living in Taiwan? I don't know what you're talking about. All your videos should be shot in the same cinematography you used with your recent video. Yeah, I want to. I really like that. But you have to understand, like, those videos are so hard to make. I shouldn't say that they're hard. It's more like, okay, think about it this way, right? If I want to make a 10-minute video in the style that I shot it, in the video that you talked about, okay, a 10-minute video. Well, each clip realistically can only be 2 or 3 seconds long, because that's just, I mean, that's kind of the gold standard for video production. If you watch most YouTubers, not all YouTubers, but many YouTubers, most shots change every 2 seconds to 3 seconds. And so what's the math on that? Like 60 seconds in a minute, 10 minutes. So I would need 300 shots, all different, to fill up a 10-minute video. And getting those shots takes a fucking long time, especially when you want them to be good. Like, there was a scene in the video before last, the one that you mentioned, where I was like in the shower. I copied that from another YouTuber, actually. But to get that shot took fucking forever, because I couldn't light it with my bathroom lights because they're too harsh. So I had to take, one of them is lighting me right now. But I have another one. This is a gift from my friend Dion, who's no longer with us. But something like this, and I had to find a way to mount it in my bathroom to shine a light through the window of my bathroom. It was actually this light. Then I had to figure out where to mount my camera. So I had to put the tripod on my toilet. But my camera is this. This is, sorry, let me go full screen so you can see. This is a Sony a6300. This actually used to be Simoke's camera, but he gave it to me, which was very kind of him, because I actually gave him a camera years and years ago. This camera's old. This is about a 10-year-old camera, I think. And because it's old, it doesn't have a flip-out screen. Sorry, it's probably kind of hard to see. I don't know. But that's as far as the screen flips out. That means that you can't vlog with this, really, because you can't see yourself. You can't see the screen. It doesn't have a flip-out screen. So when I'm filming myself using this camera, I have to just fucking guess. Like, I'm just hoping, I'm standing there with a hope and a prayer that I'm in focus and I'm in the center of the frame. And actually, in that scene where I'm standing in the shower, I'm not in the center of the... I was not in the center of the frame at all. But I couldn't tell because I couldn't see myself. And so I actually had to like crop into the image and move I fixed it in post, basically. All that's to say they take a long fucking time to make. I'm not saying that I won't make them. I do want to make them. They just take a lot of time. But thank you for enjoying that video. I really liked it as well. Wait, the podcast with Koo was on Patreon from memory. Yes, but that was the podcast that we shot interviewing Koo. I'm talking about a podcast of people interviewing me. No one would ever do that. They'd have nothing to ask me. I'm not interesting enough. Taiwanese people are also generally so generous with food. They invite strangers to eat with them and often would insist to pay. Really? I haven't really experienced that too much. Yes, that's a good image, using the open building as a port view or frame. Yeah, that's kind of, I was surprised that I actually ended up getting that shot. Did you ever try the 360 option? That would be fun on your motorcycle. 360 videos are cool, but the image quality often looks like shit, so I don't really do it all that often. Sony is the shit when it comes to cameras. Yeah, I mean, I love, this camera's 10 years old, but I still love the image quality that I get out of it. And it's great for low light. This is a crop sensor, so this lens is a 35 millimeter, which is like a 50 millimeter equivalent on a full frame. What the fuck is shaking in here? And I love this. I pretty much... I feel like that shouldn't... Okay, it was just the screen. I pretty much only use this lens. It's a prime lens, and it's quite zoomed in, if that makes sense. It's quite cropped in because it's a 35 millimeter. But because it's a 1.8, I use it all the time, and I use it to kind of challenge myself, where I have to actually... Because this camera cannot zoom at all. It's locked in at 35 millimeters. So I have to physically move the camera to where I want to get the shot, whereas this big-ass lens, a very expensive lens, a very nice lens, I never use. But it is a zoom lens. I will get around to using this a little bit more. So, yeah. You can bring to Nova, brought something, add to you are... What? Damn, I didn't realize that a 10-minute video was like shooting a Christopher Nolan video. Do you have a window we could all see out of? What the fuck kind of question is that? I'm gonna show you what's out of my window. What are you trying to do? You trying to fucking dox me? It's not like shooting a full video, but there's a lot of elements to it. Like, let's say for example, there's a street that I think is interesting, or I'm sure I'll find some examples here. Nope. Nope. Okay, like this scene. I really liked the way that this building looked. It looked really run down and ragged, and it just kind of... And I liked the way, not to sound like a fucking artsy douchebag, but I'm just trying to explain why I did what I did. And I liked the way that the fence with the lights kind of points your eyes to the middle. Or this scene, there's a bridge, right? As much as I like this scene, it was really boring because nothing's happening in this scene. So the person walking in this frame is actually my friend Mark. He came out with me to shoot these scenes because I was going in and out of Central District like every other day to go film all this stuff, and I was getting, I don't know, just kind of cool to have a friend with me. So I asked him to actually walk into frame to make something happen. And here on this bridge, nothing was happening, so I put myself into the frame. So it's like all these little fucking things that you got to think about to keep it interesting. So yeah, it just takes a fucking shitload of time to make these goddamn videos, but they're fun to make. And they're better than my normal videos, I think. He's trying to top the worst fan you've ever met so you can make part 2. Yeah. Do script first or just roll with it on the spot? For... my other videos, I just film. I don't script shit. For my last 2 videos, it's actually weird. I watched the movie, I watched Layer Cake with Daniel Craig. It was the role that got him James Bond. And I really liked the way it was shot. It was kind of like a Guy Ritchie film. It's not a Guy Ritchie film, but it's kind of got those elements to it. And the opening song, I really liked. And I kept listening to it over and over and over again. And I was like, fuck, I like this song. And I was like, I really want to make a video to music similar to this song. And the song's kind of like dark and melancholy or whatever. So I kind of wanted to make a video like that. So that's how that video came about. And there was a few shots I wanted to try and get, like the scene where I'm lying on my bed and the camera's above me, looking down at me. I actually tied the camera that you guys are right now to my light on my ceiling and hung it upside down. So the whole time I'm worried, I'm like laying on my bed doing this scene. And the whole time I'm worried that my camera's gonna fall off the light and smash me in the face. So yeah, that video just came out from like I watched a movie and thought I really wanted to make a video like that. But this video, my last video, I scripted it first. I wrote a whole script, a really long script, and then I realized I kind of have 2 videos in this script. So I split it, and then I have 2 scripts. One became this one, and then the next one's going to be my next video, which was what this live stream is about. The bridge shot gives Spirited Away vibes. Yeah, that's Taichung Park. It was built by the Japanese, so I guess that makes sense that it would remind you of Spirited Away. Don't you have a sort of screen/tablet you connect the camera to see how it looks? You can. I have tried it just this week. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Sony's something. But It's very primitive. Again, this camera came out in 2016. And I noticed that when I used it, it would like reset all my settings. I shoot manual with this thing, like all my settings are manual. And so when I would just reset all my shit. And it was annoying, so I don't use it. And one day I'll be able to afford a camera that has a flip out screen. Like this is the A6300. The A6700, which I think is the latest of the Sony A6000 series cameras, does have a flip out screen. So maybe one day I'll be able to get that. But not today, because those are expensive, and I don't have that much money. No, not doing architecture, new city view outside, shot pan view, but no address, maybe skyline shot. Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah. Japanese really built a lot when they ruled Taiwan. Yeah, I mean, that's why there's a lot of Taiwanese people who don't, like, hate the Japanese for controlling Taiwan as long as they did, because they built most of the infrastructure, you know? So they did a lot for Taiwan. They weren't perfect, but they did do a lot. Okay, so another video I want to do that I really want to tell you guys about, which is what my Super Jack goal pertains to. The motorcycle trip to Taipei fund. Okay, so far what are we at? $20 into there. And that is thanks to Fabi and UMAD. And someone called Sir ... Those 4 people have donated, and I appreciate that. Do you know there is now a ferry from Geelong to Japan? But it's like 3,000 one way. Really? Fuck me, that's kind of well, I guess it's not that expensive. But is it like a cruise, though? I use Canon. Yeah, Canon's alright. Nothing wrong with a Canon. Okay, so I don't know how to tell this story in order or in a way that makes any sense, but I hope we'll get there eventually. I had a subscriber for a long time, years. He eventually became a member of me and Alan's Patreon for our podcast. He commented on every single one of our podcasts. He was just like such a huge supporter and a great guy. We got to meet him. He came to Taiwan. He rented a car and drove all around the island by himself. It was fucking crazy. His name is Dion. He's the one that gave me this light, this little miniature light, which I love. I use this thing all the time. And he's really big into photography. He made this book, and he sent it to me about his trip to, hang on, sorry, about his trip to Taiwan in 2022. And it's like all his photos. I haven't opened this thing in a while. From, I guess that's when he went to go see the museum and all this other stuff. So he was well into photography. And a huge supporter of the channel, and became a good friend. And when he was visiting Taiwan, he was kind of in remission from cancer. He was a bit older than me, like in his 50s. And so when he was here visiting, we would always have to take him back to his hotel every few hours, because he would need rest because of the going through cancer. I'm not sure if you're aware. Fucking sucks. And we had a great time, and he went back to Australia, where he's from, and he continued to support us on Patreon, and all was well. And then I noticed he stopped commenting on our podcast, as he always did. And my other friend, who is a very similar situation to Dion, her name's Betty. She's Canadian. She's from Markham, Ontario, but she lives in Mexico, Cozumel, Mexico. She's older than my parents, but she's great. She flew to fucking Australia to go see him, so they became friends through our podcast, which is crazy. And she told me he wasn't doing very well. He was just tired and out of it and didn't have a lot of energy. Um, and yeah, another month went by. I stopped hearing from Dion. I sent him a message. I was like, hey, hope you're all right. Haven't heard from you in a while. And his son got back to me and told me that he passed away the day before. And that sucked. And that was last year. Um, anyways, Betty, who was the person who went to visit Dion, um, I met her as well. Last time I was in Canada, I was there shooting a video for the Taiwan tourism something whatever. They were putting on a I don't know, like a mini Taiwan, like a, I don't know, they would have like beef noodle soup and different artists from Taiwan and stuff, and they wanted me to go there and film it. And I met Betty there. And Betty she met my little sister, and she helped me film a video. It was great. Actually, I can find that video. What did I shoot? It was like asking Taiwanese people, asking Canadians about Taiwan. When the hell was the last time I was home? It was so long ago. It was a couple of years ago. Oh, fuck. I just saw. God, where is it? Why can't I find this video? Anyways, I guess it... Oh, maybe because I had to release it early because it was sponsored. But yeah, I was just asking Canadians about Taiwan. I think it was something like that anyways. And Betty helped me shoot it. And it was so great because like when I'm shooting videos in Taiwan, it's kind of whatever. I'm not really all that nervous. I'm fine with it. But when I'm shooting in Canada, like it's so, I don't know why, it just feels so awkward having to like walk up to strangers and ask them if I can ask them a question for my stupid fucking YouTube video, I don't know, it just feels really fucking cringe. Oh, that's fucking here. Jesus Christ, found it. But seeing Betty there, like someone who I knew, made me feel so much better, because I knew I could interview her. Here she is. There's Betty. And it just made me feel so much better having her with me to shoot this video in Canada, because I was under a lot of pressure too to like get it done. And Betty's just like full of laughs, and she's a crazy adventurer too. Like she traveled to Argentina, and then she went to fucking Antarctica, and she came to Taiwan, met her here in Taiwan. She's been everywhere. She's just like a solo traveler and very young at heart, and just like Dion, who she went to go visit, she would also like comment on all of our podcasts, and she would message me. She messaged Glory, like my other friends, because she got to meet a bunch of us every month or every other month about the trip she was on, sending photos and stuff. And again, I noticed the same thing, like stopped hearing from her. So I sent her a message the other day, and her sister got back to me. Unfortunately, Betty passed away as well. And I'm really sad. Sorry. Let me just get a hold of myself for a second.
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the
God,
children.
Jesus Christ.
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
I really gotta turn that off. That sounds really inappropriate for after what I just said. Yeah, I was gonna announce it on Patreon for the next podcast over the weekend, because I think they deserve to hear about it first. I'm also. Sorry, it's. I didn't expect it to hit me like that. I'm also not entirely sure how appropriate it is speaking about it, you know? Yeah. But she was friends with many of the other Patreons, so yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'll talk more about it on the podcast. But right now, I guess it's too fresh. I didn't expect it.
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
Thank you. The other thing that feels really, I never really know how to react to these sorts of things. Not that it's about me. That's the other thing I want to be very careful to avoid. You know? I don't want to use this as an opportunity to, like, make money. You know, that's disgusting. But I thought, you know, her and Dion both loved traveling so much. Like, really loved adventuring. And I wanted to make a video for them, dedicated to them. I made one for Dion a long time ago. He suggested a video idea to me, and after he passed, I did the video. So I've been thinking about going somewhere and making a video. I'm not entirely sure what the video is going to be about or what I'm going to do. So I thought about Yangming Shan in Taipei. And I have to think a little bit more about it. So, and the reason I haven't been traveling much is, again, I make this joke, but it's because I'm poor, you know. And I have enough money to, like, live, but traveling within Taiwan is expensive, you know. There's a joke in Taiwan where it's like, I'm really poor, so I'm going to go travel abroad. Because it's just so expensive to travel in here. Anyways, and so that's what the super chat thing was for. yeah. Jesus, I can't even read those super chats. I think this is why, like, I never go to fucking funerals, you know? Good God. Yeah, in memory of Dion and Betty, I appreciate that. Thank you to Lone Locust and UMAD. The Patreon community was quite good. I gotta catch up on so many videos actually. Sad to hear about Betty. Yeah, it fucking sucks. Yeah, I mean, they do mean a lot to me. I mean, like, again, this is what makes it hard, right? Because it's like, I think to a lot of people, it's easy to say like, oh well, you know, they're your audience, and they're how you get paid. So there's like a cynical side to it, you know, and I get that, but um, over time that relationship changes because I don't know why, but eventually you meet them in person, you know, like Dion and Betty. And then when you meet them in person, then the relationship changes because you feel like they're your friends because you've actually seen them. You know, like you've actually gotten to see their face. And so then it becomes easier to like message them back and forth. And they become your friends. Genuinely. I mean, I know, I get it. You know, Betty was like quite a bit older than I am, but she's still, you know, you could be friends with someone like that, especially because me and Betty had so much in common. Like, she was a badass, dude. Like, when she was younger, she rode motorcycles too. Um, and she liked traveling and all these other things. Uh, and so eventually, these people mean a lot to you. So, you know, yeah. Um, yeah. And someone says it's just part of life. We have to accept it and cherish people we care about. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair.
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
Um, I think, at least in...
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
Thank you. I think in Betty's case, she... I mean, she went through a lot, you know. She had a long life, and so it's not like like you mentioned, like you have friends who passed away in Ukraine, and that's like tragic because they're young. With Betty, it's like it's still and Dion, it still sucks, but it's not. I don't know if it's quite the same as your situation, but I know what you mean. You Matt again, $10. Thank you. You're gonna make this trip happen almost by yourself. It's not just your audience. When I met you and Alan, I could tell you generally have fun with your audience and become friends. Yeah, I mean, it's always better meeting you in person, right? Like if reading comments is cool as well, but it's not. It's just not the same when you don't get to meet them in person, right? Because it's like it's a weird relationship when like people know stuff about me because like I'm the only one talking. It's my video, but I don't know anything about them, so it's always really awkward when I meet them because it's like I never know what to say because it's like I don't know anything about you, you know. Uh, but yeah, and also you know I think it also helps that my channel never really grew all that much. You know, my audience stayed small. Anyways, yeah. And that helps. And then they became friends, you know, like Dion and Betty, who met in person together. So that helps. You know, if you've got like millions and millions and millions of followers or whatever, that's great. I'd be a lot richer than I am now. But you don't get to like, you know, like even in this live stream, like I see the same names pop up and you develop a bit of a relationship with that person, you know. Like Vanessa. 20 Australian dollars. Hi, mate. This money is from Dad. He is in hospital and has been given 6 weeks left to live. Shit. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that really sucks. I get really worried about people now, you know? Like, I can't talk about that, it's too sad. On the podcast, I'll try. But it's too sad for me to talk about here. Yeah. Currently, my only life problem is that squirrels are stealing my tulip bulbs from my front yard. Hey, man, that's a good problem to have. That's, you know, you should feel lucky. And, you know, it's not like I have a ton of problems in my life either. It's just. It sucks. But yeah. Um, yeah, Vanessa, that does suck, but I hope that, you know, you find, you and your dad find, I guess, that measure of peace that we all seem to look for, I guess. I don't know if those are comforting words, but it seems to me the only thing worth, I don't know, like looking forward to in the situations like that, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, so I thought about doing a trip, a little adventure or something for them, maybe up to Taipei. I wanted to do Yangmingshan for a few reasons, like, well, one, I haven't really been properly able to explore it, and I thought it would be a nice thing to do in spirit of both Dion and Betty, because they both loved exploring. And also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could have this wrong. I can't remember if Dion ever made it to. I know he went to the National Palace Museum. Ah, he did, yes. Okay, he went to one of my favorite places, which is Lin Yutang's house on. Sorry. Lin Yutang's house, which is on Yangmingshan. So he went up there. And I think, sorry, this book is a bit dusty. Yeah. And he got to like properly see Yangmingshan, and he told me I should go up there and that I would really like it. Because the road is up there, so it looks really nice as well. So, I thought about going there. And I don't know how long it's gonna take or where I'm gonna stay, but that's probably gonna send me on a rant about like hotels in Taiwan and how expensive they are. Excuse me. But yeah, like hotels, this is the thing. Traveling in Taiwan is such a pain in the ass because for what you get, it's really like it's not worth it a lot of the times. Especially when like you could just go to Japan and get a hotel for like the same price, but the hotel is going to be better, you know? So that's the one annoying thing. Like my friend asked me, he's on like summer holiday from work at school, and he's like, "Oh, let's do a Huandao," which means like a trip around the island. And I'm like, man, I can't afford that. You know, that's like $15,000 in hotel fees alone. NT, I mean. And I stay in shitty hotels when I go traveling. Do they have thrift stores in Taiwan? You could take us thriftings for antiques, lol. Yeah, they do have thrift stores, and I've already done that video already. Dion was a hell of a photographer. He was, yeah. He was a great photographer. His photos are really good. Dude had a talent for photography. Yeah, he was super, super talented. I wonder if his son will take it up. He, yeah. Love riding around Yangmingshan, definitely go. It looks really pretty. There's a hotel in the northern tip of Yangmingshan I want to check out. It's like the shape of a boat. That's kind of funny. But I have to think more about what this video is. I know it's for them. Sort of dedicated to them and I don't know, like who they were. Like both of them loved traveling so much. Solo traveling too. Like I thought Dion was fucking crazy for renting a car and driving around Taiwan by himself. Like not many people are willing to do that. There are people in Taiwan that live here that don't ride scooters or drive cars because it's so dangerous, and he just like didn't give a fuck. He did it anyway. And also what a badass too, like with his cancer, like he was really, when he was visited, he was really tired. But you know, he like powered through it, really, just pure sheer will. He was like sorry, my nose is all clogged up now from getting all emotional. Yeah, he was just a badass. So maybe the video doesn't really have to be about anything in particular other than just like the spirit of sort of, I suppose, adventure, but that kind of sounds a bit cringe. But we'll see. Is that big white palace you see in the land in Taiwan? Yeah, that's Lin Yutang's house. He's one of my favorite authors, and he had a house up there. Airbnb prices in Taipei are criminal. Yeah, they're just, it's fucking outrageous. You should do video on the Taiwan Hotel Mafia. What is that? I don't know what the Taiwan Hotel Mafia is. I know that like in Taiwan, they have no reason to bring the prices down. Like in Hualien, there was a huge earthquake that like, it didn't level the city, but it definitely affected, you know, people didn't want to go to Hualien anymore because they were scared of it being unsafe, you know? And so the government had to subsidize hotel prices because like none of the hotels wanted to drop the price. That's why people don't go to Kending anymore. Because it's like it's more expensive to go to Kending than go to like Okinawa for the weekend, you know? It's just, it's like it's a robbery. I wonder if camping, oh, hang on. This is Ake 500 NT. Thank you, I appreciate that. I cannot find the right words. We cross paths with people in different ways, and the beauty of it is the positive impacts they leave on us. Indeed, good words. You're better at it than I am. I'm so shit at finding the right words during situations like this. I just never know how to deal with it. I never know if I'm saying something inappropriate or, again, the conversation I keep having with myself keeps going back to myself. And it doesn't feel right to me. Like, it's not about me. It's about the person who passed away. Which is why I'll probably ask all these questions on the podcast, because I have quite a lot of trust with the people who listen to the podcast, and I feel more comfortable asking them those questions, and not on a live stream where anyone can listen, because I'll come off like a dick. But, anyways. Grylier. I wonder if camping spots would be a way to save money traveling around Taiwan. Not particularly. Camping is also pretty expensive. The spots themselves aren't that bad. But again, some of them are actually pretty expensive. But glamping is a big thing. Does Taiwan have capsule-style accommodation? They do. But they're more like motels, I suppose I could do a motel. I borrowed my friend's car once and drove around Taiwan with it. Nice. He wanted to make the most out of life. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he said too, if you're talking about Dion, yeah. But he was in remission. Like, he was feeling better. I remember he messaged, one of the last things he said was that the meds were taking, and he was feeling a lot better. And so that's when he came to Taiwan. But, when you've got cancer, even when you're feeling better, it still sucks, to have cancer. So, but yeah. But yeah, he did want to make the most out of it. I've only ever driven a car in Taiwan a few times, and I hate it. Sometimes parking is so difficult to get in and out. I admire Dion. That was from UMAD. Yeah, it's not for everyone. Like, driving a car here is fucking nuts. I just couldn't believe it, because, like, he'd never really been in... I think it was the second time in Taiwan, but still, like, that's crazy. Because it's an entirely different way of thinking when you're driving here. Like, it's no longer defensive driving like we have in the West, like in, Australia, North America, Europe. It's aggressive style, so it's totally different. Got into trouble at the toll booth, too. Oh, is that back when Taiwan still had toll booths at the highway? Because now it's all automatic. Suggest a camping site in Taipei. Huazhong Riverside Park campsite might be the cheapest method. That was from the Breaker Randy. Let's check this out. What is it called? Huazhong Riverside Park. Let's check this out together. Sorry, Vanessa says that's what Dad has. Doctor thinks it's from him working with asbestos. Shit. Yeah, man. It gets everybody. So many people in my family also have passed from cancer. I was just talking... This is how dark my family is. I was calling my mom yesterday. Just, I don't know, out of the blue. And she was complaining that she can't get access to her retirement money until she's 70 or 71 or something. She was like, I don't think anyone's in my family's ever lived to fucking 70. Which is, it's dark because it's true. They've all got heart problems and cancer. So I've got a great future to look forward to. But yeah. Stage, yes, I can't say that. I don't know what that is. I tried it in Taipei. I find parking was often difficult. That may be reasons why people prefer scooters. I mean, it's one of the reasons I ride scooters. One, they're cheaper, and two, yeah, parking's a shit load way easier parking. Vivian says, thanks for making me cry tonight. Yeah, apologies. I really wasn't expecting it to get emotional. I am not a very emotional person. And I never really get emotional on camera. But that hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. So I apologize. Marco says, yeah, many years ago I went into the wrong lane because it wasn't in English and the lady was not happy. Yeah, I'm so happy Taiwan doesn't have those tolls anymore. Um, okay, let's see this camping spot that somebody recommended. What? This is just like in Taipei. There's no way. That's not. You can't camp. This is just a park. Oh no, there is a campground here. What the fuck? Is it an actual campground? I think it's just a park. You can't camp here. It's like right in the middle of the city.
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
Oh shit, UK Maxi with 10 pounds. Appreciate it. I was lucky to meet Dion in person for a beer with D Jr. Really? I can't believe the news about Betty. Any video that echoes her spirit would be loved. Pretty cinematography for Dion, an adventure for Betty. I like that idea. I like that idea so much that I'm gonna take a picture of your super chat as a reminder of kind of the direction. So there, it's saved on my phone now. That's sort of the direction for the video. I like that. You met Dion and D Jr.? Really? Was that in Taiwan? And why the hell wasn't I there? Or was I there and I forgot? That's the other thing I fucking hate about myself is I have a horrible memory. A horrible memory. I forget these things so easily. I totally agree. The parking spot at my girlfriend's parents' house, you have to do like a 12-point turn to get in and out. Scooters are fine, but dangerous to drive, especially around Zhonghe. Yeah, I have a hard time parking cars in like those lift up and down parking garages, you know? The ones that, the you know what I'm talking about? The fancy, like the lift garages. Thank you for showing more pictures of Dion's photography. Like, my God, he was good. Yeah, he was good. It's a homeless camp, LMAO. Is it? Someone recommended me I stay in a homeless camp? The fuck, you guys? I'm trying to make a nice video for Dion and Betty, not stay in the streets with the homeless. The only place I ever camped is on a CS map. Ha! Good one. Homeless camp? That's hilarious. Yeah, I met in Taiwan. Oh shit, was I there? What the fuck? Excuse my writing, I used to talk feature, and sometimes it does not come through right, and then edit. Oh, okay, gotcha. I see. That's why your sentences aren't making much sense. No worries, nowhere, and nowhere coconut, because you blocked my IG already. Oh, you're that Vivian. Jesus Christ. Yeah. UK Maxi, haha, do not worry. You were not there, but it was the same time that you met Dion for the podcast and Ellen's video. Why the fuck wasn't I there? I must have been working or something. Because I remember we had Dion stay, well, we didn't have him stay. He booked a hotel at like a motel, but this motel kicked him out in the daytime, and we were like, what the fuck? The guy's got cancer, and like, he needs rest, but he couldn't stay in his hotel during the daytime. It was just weird. It was in like the fine print. It was really weird. But he just wanted to experience like what a motel was like, because they're really unique. Yeah, so this is a homeless camp right in the middle of the center of the city. I don't know where in Taipei. I still haven't mapped out the route yet, because like, I know where I want to go was... There's a hotel. It's like the most northern tip of Taiwan for a hotel, anyways. It's on the coast. And it's in the shape of a boat, but I can't remember what it's... Is it Flagship Hotel? Yeah, this one. Sorry, am I sharing my screen? I am, good. So, check it out. It looks like a boat. Hilarious. I also haven't paid my insurance on my fucking motorcycle yet. So that's a pain in the ass. Okay, so if I map this route out, I'll do car. I'm just gonna pick Taichung City. It's not gonna take 2 hours because I have to avoid tolls because I'm taking a motorcycle. So it says it's only 3 hours, but I don't really believe that because I have to stop a bunch. I gotta film a bunch. So I was thinking of stopping somewhere. I don't know. The problem is this road is boring as fuck, and there's not really that many places to stop. Um, 3 hours isn't that bad. It's actually a lot closer than I thought. But again, that's no stopping, and I'm gonna be so it's probably gonna take a whole day. But if I stay here, I wonder how much. Like $2,000-ish. And then if I stay in Taipei for a night. Oh yeah, that's right, because I wanted to go through Taipei. I remember I mapped this out already. I wanted to go around Yangmingshan, like because Lin Yutang's house is kind of it's not that far into Yangmingshan. It's somewhere around here. And then I would just kind of like go around Yangmingshan. It would be really cool. It's really pretty. I'll show you guys some of the routes, and you guys can let me know if you think it's worth it. See? Mountain, coast. I think that's really pretty. DM booked a short stay motel. I remember that a lot. Offer 12-hour stays or less. Yeah, exactly. This is Lawrence Bilton, by the way. But now I'm UK Mac. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Did you tell me that in the last live stream and I forgot? I can't really remember. What is the senior population like there in Taiwan? Are they like Japanese senior population where they just highly revered and praised? Yeah, I mean the elderly are pretty well respected here in Taiwan. Why not head directly to Danshui with the new bridge? Am I allowed to go on the bridge with my motorcycle though? It's taking you on the highway. You can't go on the highway. I can go on the highway. It's not. Yeah, you can only take yellow plate or red plate. Yeah, exactly. I have a yellow plate, which is what I'll take. Camp maxing, baby. Yeah, I'm not gonna camp at a homeless place though. There's a hotel in Danshui that also looks like a boat. So is like the whole theme of the video just gonna be staying like in hotels that look like boats? You're looking at a big reason I want to move to Geelong. Really? I did tell you last time, but don't worry about remembering. Yeah, again, I have a shit memory. Danjiang Bridge allows scooters. I mean, okay, so why not take that bridge? Well, because I know that I want to go to... Because I know that I want to go to Lin Yutang's house, which is like somewhere in the middle. Like, oh, it's just behind National Palace Museum. Here, found it. Bam, didn't even have to search. Okay. And then I would go north along this road and then go do a loop around Yangmingshan. So eventually I would end up in Danshui actually. Is this the new bridge? But it's not like I'd be like gunning for Danshui. It's fucking Danshui. I think there's more shit to do in. I know you're in Danshui. It'd be cool to see you,
for
but
the children. We teach the children.
there's shit to do in Taipei too. You mad again? $5 Australian. God damn. Camp at the Taipei main station. That's the best homeless camp. Fuck. How did my live streams go? From buying countries like Australia, you know, buying Thailand, to now. There was an old joke, if you guys have been with me long enough, where people wanted me to eat a raw egg, and now it's like, go camp at a homeless shelter. You fucking assholes. It's also like, it would be so bad, because it's so hot in Taiwan. I really don't know how homeless people do it. I feel so bad for them. When you say new bridge, how new is this bridge? And is it worth going to? Let me have a look at this new bridge. Oh wow, this is fancy as shit. Look at this, people taking photos of it. Oh, it is new then, I suppose. Okay, you know what? This bridge is actually pretty badass. I can get some good shots of this bridge. I remember the first time I drove into Taipei on my motorcycle. I was on the highway, and I remember it feeling like a fucking movie, because the mountains were like parting, and the city revealed itself behind the mountains, and it was nighttime, and it was all lit up. And I thought it was so fucking cool. And I didn't have a camera on me. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I really wish I filmed that. It just felt so cool. So I'd love to get that shot too. Can't wait to see your Taiwan camping videos. God damn, they're not hotels, they're boat-tels. Ah, ha, ha, ha. So this bridge, yeah, a lot of scooters. Yeah, that's a new bridge. Yeah, okay. It opened in May. Nice. Merod's a friend. Have you been to Tsihu Memorial Sculpture Park? You could do that on the way up. It said that the statues start to move when you walk around at night. Well, that's fucking creepy. I don't want to go to that. SA3 Go 1999. What's up? What's up? Humidity is so bad to see the steam rising off the ground at night in Taiwan. Yeah, I mean, that's just... You can see the air, like it's pollution and humidity. Yeah, pretty fucking cool bridge. I will give you that. I'm not really sure about the route. The thing is, like, my motorcycle is not fucking comfortable to ride at all. And so that's why I would be quite keen on stopping somewhere halfway. But, like, where the balls do you stop in between Taichung and Taipei? Like, your options are limited. There's not a whole lot. Riding the west coast of Taiwan sucks ass. The best routes are on the east coast. Everyone knows that. I also haven't been to Taipei in a while. And I've only ridden there once on my motorcycle. Wouldn't it be a fucking hilarious challenge if, like, I could only stay at hotels that look like boats? What is the hotel that looked like a boat? I can't. Someone said it and I can't remember. Lawrence Van Rugen. On the motels in Taiwan. Holy shit, you're still here. I thought you left for work. Dutch YouTuber Percy Tienhoven, married to a Taiwanese woman, booked a friend into a motel for a night and filmed the check-in and reactions. Bloody hilarious. Yeah, I've done that before as well. Fulon Hotel in Danshui is the one. Let's have a look. Tyron. Is it this one? Basin? No. Dan Shui. $4,300? What the fuck, Marco? I can't afford that. You don't understand what kind of shitholes I stay in when I go traveling. Okay, this is like it's got a pool. What the fuck? Does it look like a boat though? I mean, it's got like a marina vibe, but I wouldn't say it necessarily looks like a boat. Let me see exactly where this is. Okay, it is in Danshui. Pretty cool wharf. So that's the hotel down here. It looks more like a castle than a boat, you know? I mean, there's boats at the hotel. What is up with this image quality? I mean, I guess I could kind of see that it's a boat. I don't know. What do we think? Chat.
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
Skidla, $30. One of my biggest supporters. Slept in and missed the stream. Are you going to Taipei soon or just ideating? It depends. People seem to like the idea of the video. So I would say sometime soon, yeah. I have to get a video out, you know. How's the weather there? The weather's shit here. It's blisteringly hot and humid, and it's gross. You need a camera symbol, like decals, t-shirts you can ride. I mean, yeah, Taiwanese people don't buy merch, so I never really released any merch. Yeah, look at it. I think it looks like a boat when you look at it head on. Kind of, but it doesn't look as much like a boat as the other one. The two towers are the chimneys. Pole! It looks like Hyrule Castle or something. It does kind of. You know, we do love our poles here. Does this hotel look like a boat? A boatel. That's such a stupid joke, Marco. If you will. Poll has started. Skidlet, thank you for that $30. That is going to go into the Taipei trip and the video. It will support funding the video. Unless I stay in this fucking Hyrule Castle, potentially boat-looking hotel that Marco is suggesting. How much? YouTube calculates everything in USD, right? And this hotel was like $4,500 for a night. Let's just check. God damn it. That's $140 a night. So no, we can't afford this yet, Marco. It looks like a cruise ship. Yeah, it kind of looks like a cruise ship. You can visit Evergreen Maritime Museum. Yeah. I guess there aren't really going to be that many hotels that look like boats, are there? We will make sure he will go at Skidla. Looks like a cruise ship. Expensive. Go for it, man. Botel might be the video for extra views. I suppose I could see Dion and Betty laughing at that joke. That's a funny joke. A Botel. I don't know. I can't afford this. It's $140. I mean, even in this live stream, we've got 113. What does that say? 113. So I mean, we're getting there. But this is too fancy for me. This is like look at this food. It's even got a heart-shaped. I don't even know what that is. But they must have cheaper rooms, no? Also, hang on. Let's check availability. I don't know when I'm going yet. I have no plans, but let's check it. Let's take like a typically a cheap day, like say like a Tuesday to a Wednesday. 8 that's just doubled in price. What the fuck? I'm only one guest. That does not change a goddamn thing. Jesus. Check out here. Am I sharing my screen? Yeah, so you guys can see these prices? That's a fucking rubber. Oh, no, okay, I see. Easy Travel, 4,800. Agoda's got it for 4,300. Let's check out Agoda. Oh, it's even cheaper, 37. There we go. Let's see what the room is like, though. Fucking hell, it's probably gonna be. Your kids stay for free. It's got a city view. Oh, it comes with comes with an electric kettle. I mean, that's. Listen, the room's nice, but it's not like super fancy, which I guess is fine. That's their cheapest room, right? I mean, I don't know. I will keep it in mind. Let's grab another. I have to stop sharing my screen because otherwise it'll. The other one looks more like a boat. This Botel is better. The one at the northern end, Flagship Hotel. This one definitely looks like a boat. Hang on. It's even got a mini Statue of Liberty that says Love U.S. Mail on it for some reason. But, like, that's definitely a boat. You know? And it's far cheaper. Let's say same. Yeah. It's here. 2,400. Oh no, that's not the same hotel. Son of a bitch. Contact this property for rates. Does it have a website? Just takes me to Expedia. How much did Expedia have to pay to fucking buy this link? Is the hotel like booked for the end of time or something? 26. Even that's like not that cheap, is it? There we go. Oh no, it's gonna bring me to Agoda now. Fucking hell. Booking a hotel is such a goddamn pain in my ass. Okay, so fuck this website off. Is this it? It is! 2,200. And this is a bodal. A hotel bodal. I wonder what you get if you pay the extra 400 NT, you know? Look at this. Great views. Here's what I'm concerned, though. It's like you're right, the balcony's right there. So when you wake up, if you leave your curtains open, people can just, like, see into your room, you know? And the rooms look nice. Or an ocean view. Well, that one's fucking swanky. Look at that. You can shower and look at the ocean. That's a sick room. And that's only 27. It's only a little bit more. Okay, let's see what you guys think. 90% said yes, it looks like a boat. Are you fucking serious? Wow, I thought it was gonna be way more. Okay, well, if I can afford it, I'll go there. Who knows? With Skidla in the chat, maybe I can afford it. Skidla's generous. Streets are so clean. Yes, they are. He was gonna guess $175. Yeah, you're pretty close. It is expensive. 5-star hotel. Is it a 5-star? Good question. The actual boatle, the one that I think looks like a boat, is holy shit, 4.5 stars. I don't know, is that good? And the one that Marco pointed out is most likely a 5-star hotel. And I never stay in 5-star hotels. This property is in high demand. It is 5 stars. Holy shit. The Titanic of Bodles. Yeah. Yeah. The Titanic of Bodles is definitely 5 stars. If you do not wear a captain's cap on top of the bodle, then it's not worth it. Oh man, you're already at $113.99. Yeah, but this fucking Titanic of Bodles is way more than that. Almost there. I don't know. 140 USD. Wow. Does it have a spa, workout, etc.? I don't think so. Again, this is just like Taiwan hotel prices are fucking stupid. Pardon me. The Morrowind Hotel looks fun. Nautical themed rooms. Yeah. I mean, the nautical theme thing doesn't even make any sense. I don't even know. We're just in this live stream obsessed with fucking bodles. I think it's more fun if the hotel looks like an actual boat. Live stream from the bodle to pay for the room and room service. That is not a bad idea. I could do that. It's August, high season. Why is August high season, though? What's happening in August? It's ghost month. Nobody should be in hotels. Dates for next week is maybe too expensive. Yeah, it could be. Can you try to get a berth on a shipping vessel? I don't know what that means. 3,792. We got the money, do we? What was that? Oh, someone just subscribed. Nice. Who owns the hotel? What corporation? A goat is also a good in Taiwan. I don't know who owns the hotel. I have no idea. Oh, is it Fulan? Yeah. That room is nice and big. Fuck me, I'm getting so hard behind the chat. There's one more of boats. Lego boats. This chat is getting really hard to follow. Hang on. I'm off to bed. It's 2:45 a.m. here. Good night, Vanessa. I hope I didn't... Sorry, I'm probably too late. She's probably already in bed. Thank you for the super chat, Vanessa. That meant a lot. Is the bodle in the middle of nowhere even open? I mean, it looks open. Don't know. But Lawrence might have a point. You know, if I try to book, if I look for like rooms from next week, it might be too expensive. If you want a good video series, Skidla, way to improve your Chinese, a cheap living, go look at the dorm prices for Taichung University Language Center program. Yeah. Not a bad idea, actually. I'm telling you, you need to learn about the Taiwan hotel mafia. Okay, I'll look into it. Um, yeah, they can see into my room and be blessed with the sight of me. Exactly. I win the poll. What about the higher floors? God, at the 4.5 stairs is the customer rating review. Let's take a photograph. The puns for this video are already fucking rolling in. 5 stars means great service and clean, yeah, but it also means way outside my price range. Basically, I wanted to try and like fund this whole trip with this live stream, and I can't even afford one night at one goddamn hotel. This trip is gonna take me multiple nights. Yeah, but it's tourists coming August, foreign tourists. Why? Why the fuck are people coming to Taiwan in August? It's not like it's any. The weather's better. Freaking call them when you decide. Call them now. Live stream, then request. Why not? Yeah. You'd figured. You know what's stupid is like you would think a channel my size would get a sponsor from these hotels. You know, like a lot of my other friends that are YouTubers get to stay in hotels for free all the time. But I never get to. I gotta like fund this shit myself with these live streams. Sleep on a fishing boat? Just go ask the boat owner. Fuck that, dude. Jesus. Both boatles are cool. Either one would be fun. I mean, maybe I could do both, right? Because like, I don't know. It wouldn't really be worth it though, because these boatles are pretty close together, you know. That's a good question. Let's see how far these boatles are from one another. So if we say, okay, flagship. Okay, let's go back to all. Hang on, go back. Directions to this one. They're only 40 minutes apart, you know. But what's good about this big ass one is what I liked it is like it gave me a halfway point. You know what I mean? So I could drive around, which is probably why they put it there. Like I could drive around Yangmingshan. There's my halfway point, and then the next day continue. So why not both boatles? You know. That pic looks 5 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. Call them, ask for a discount, tell them you're a YouTuber, and see what they say. Yeah, but like if you know my personality, I fucking. Someone else call them and act as my agent. How about that? I would feel like such a dickhead. Come stay at your hotel for free. I'll make a video. I bet you that Bodil's bow is made for people reenacting the Titanic pose. Yeah, honestly, probably. Yeah, but people are off school and off work, especially in Europe where everyone is off in August. Oh, yeah, I forgot about summer vacation. It's either sink or swim with this Bodil video now. Yeah. Don't Taiwanese take vacation in August? Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Call them. Yeah, 30 kilometers from each other. I was paying 6,000 NT a semester for the dorm at NTU. Really improved my Mandarin. That's it? But did you have like roommates and shit? Chat wants probably to sleep in a boat or a homeless camp. I know, this is fucking ridiculous. And what's hilarious is that I can't afford to sleep in either of them. I mean, the original Bodil I could probably afford right now. Flight tickets and hotels are usually expensive during the school and university holidays, and increased demand of which drives the prices up. I think if you went in September, it would be cheaper. You reckon? Let's look at, okay, let's look at this Bodil. This was, oh, this one, here we go. Let's look at September. When does school start? Oh, there's Mid-Autumn Festival. That's not good. We want to avoid Mid-Autumn Festival. We'll just say September 10th to 11th. Update. Yeah, it's a bit cheaper. Still, like, I never get hotels for this much money. Again, I never stay in five-star hotels. I always stay in the cheapest hotel I can find. It could go opposite. Saw a famous hotel rich mogul channel get turned down for wanting to do a YouTube video. Yeah. October to December begins low season. Winter is even cheaper. Man, but then I gotta wait until October to make this video, which I suppose wouldn't be a big problem. And it would be a lot easier, or not easier, but nicer to ride my motorcycle when it's less hot. Although, no, that's fucking stupid. It's still ridiculously hot in October and December. At least my kids can stay in for free and free breakfast. Yeah, don't have kids and I'm never awake for breakfast, so neither of those things are really all that great. You had 5 Taiwanese roommates, cheapest option, wild at 30 plus years old and learned a lot and made good friends. That's a pretty cool experience. But again, this apartment I have now is 11 grand, so it's only 5 grand more and I get to not have roommates. But I see your point. It's nice to get like the immersion in, you know? Umet says, have you checked Fun Now? That's usually good for finding a hotel for just one night, especially at short notice. Fun Now? Is that like an Agoda option or something? Alright, calling you out. Didn't you stay in a love hotel 3 years ago? Call them. I did, but I paid for that. Airbnb can provide good options too. Now I feel like people are making fun of me because I don't know what fun now means. I don't fucking know. My main point is just like, okay, here's another poll. I'll have to go in a little bit, but hookup option, it's an app. Is it? I've never even heard of it. Okay. Now I get your joke. Thank you for explaining it and not keeping it secret. Fun Now. Are Taiwanese hotels overpriced is the new poll. Is overpriced hyphenated? I'm just gonna say it is. Like oftentimes, like okay, let's say we go deeper into Taipei here. Okay, and we'll pick a hotel that's not like anything too crazy. That's 4.5 stars. 4.5 stars. Okay, they're all really fancy. Fuck me. Anyways, I don't know if we'll be able to find a hotel that matches this description, but like a lot of them, like, okay, youth hostel. God damn, why am I now that I'm trying to make this point, why am I finding fucking reasonably priced hotels? That's so annoying. Every time I'm in Taipei, I bitch and moan endlessly. Love Taipei. Why are hotels so cheap now? God damn it. Yeah, compared to other parts of East and Southeast Asia, Taipei, Taiwanese hotels are more expensive. They are. And oftentimes what you get is not good. You know, Kenting is like a perfect example of that. No one fucking comes here. Well, I shouldn't say that. People still go here. It's just like... It's just not good. Like you go to a hotel, look at this. 3 grand to stay in fucking Kending. And the hotel's probably not that nice. I remember me and Alan stayed at one, no, that's a hostel. That was like a shithole. And it was so expensive. This one, Contact property. This one's 1100. That's not bad, but even still. What's your view on Airbnb? I've never actually used Airbnb before. Gamma says bye, goodbye. That place in Danshui is too far from everything. Riding to the city center would suck. Yeah, I mean, Marco only wants me to go there because he lives there. And he's always having to come here to visit me. Fun Now is the app the girls tell you about at the bar when neither of you have your own apartment. Oh. Shit, I'm behind the times. I'm off my game, fam. It's the app with the orange, with an orange icon. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye out for it. Tell us a scoop on Johnny Chang and his hostel. I don't know who Johnny Chang is. Hotels were so cheap during the pandemic. Yeah, but they've gone back up. They were really they were. I remember I got like a 4-star hotel in Kaohsiung. For like 800. It was at the Delta Hotel. It was like 800 a night before COVID. It was amazing. I usually book short stay hotels. Have Fun Now when I did Huangdao last time. Really? Is that app in Taiwan? Why have I never heard of it? Just type hotel into search bar and you'll see all the prices. Yeah. Is my Taipei worker for a hotel friend tell me? Okay. Try good old Taipei hostel. Ugh, don't really want to stay at a hostel. Because I have like, I don't know. I just have this thing. I don't like being around other people. It's kind of like Expedia, but for hotels or entertainment, like nail appointments, is it? What the fuck happened to Kenting? I stayed at the bed and breakfast in 2014. Was super cheap. Looks expensive now. Oh, it's a Taiwanese app. Oh. So it's like you meet someone at a bar and you don't have anywhere to go back to like sleep with them, so you just use that app? Is that what it is, or am I not getting that? Brian Smith, hello from a humid 180-degree Fahrenheit southern South Carolina, USA. What's up, Brian? Kenting, yeah, Kenting got shit a couple of years ago, pretty much since COVID. The hotels, you know, because people couldn't travel in Taiwan, right? They couldn't leave Taiwan, but we could still travel within Taiwan because COVID never really hit Taiwan that bad. And so, there was a lot of domestic travel, and it was great for a lot of local businesses, especially if you owned a hotel in Taiwan. And Kenting, not just a hook app. It's not just a hook, not a hook up app. That's hard to say. Oh, okay. I thought it was a hookup app, but it's not. Anyway, so Kenting sent a lot of business, and so hotels started raising the prices of their rooms. And then COVID ended, and they never put them back down again. And I don't think Kenting is as popular as it once was. A lot of Taiwanese people would prefer to go to Thailand or Vietnam or Okinawa or somewhere else and hit the beach, because Kenting is just not worth it. Americans keep saying Airbnb sucks ass, but it can be damn good in other countries. Yeah, I've never really used it. I suppose I could look into it. I've been in Airbnbs. Like, we stayed in an Airbnb in Taipei before we did the military challenge. Sun Moon Lake hotels are so expensive. Oh, Sun Moon Lake is fucking ridiculous. It's a robbery. And it's just a goddamn lake. Like, I like Sun Moon Lake, don't get me wrong. There's decent hotels there, decent food there. It is a beautiful lake. But if you're from Canada, like I am, you know, Marco's from Ontario, like I am, It's just a fucking lake. And when you grow up in Canada, there are lakes, there are lakes fucking everywhere. It's got more lakes than any country combined, I think. So we don't really care about lakes that much. And so when I go to Sunwin Lake and I see that there's a hotel for, you know, $5,000 or whatever to look at a lake, I'm like, that's just outrageous. More of a pond. Yeah, honestly, it's barely. I mean, listen, credit where credit's due. It is a beautiful lake. Why? I dropped that goddamn thing on my chair. Now everything smells like mint. So we'll see. So I don't know. I suppose I should have thought a little bit more about my idea for this video. I just Canada's lakes are also way nicer than anything I've seen in Asia. Well, the thing about Canadian lakes is that you can actually like use them. You can swim in them. You can go boating on them. You can go But here, I find in a lot of parts of Asia, they're there just for looking. Like you can view the lake and that's it. You know, like there's not a whole lot of anything else when it comes to lakes in Asia. So. Anyways, yeah, but that was my idea for both those videos. I can't believe it took me. How long have we been going for, guys? 2 hours. For both of those videos, I want to do a little travel video dedicated to Dion and Betty. I thought about Yangmingshan because it looks really nice. It looks really cool. It looks really beautiful. Dion went up there and he told me I should go and see it. I don't know if Betty ever got up to go and see there, but I mean, look at these roads. Fucking awesome. Just looks so great. I'll have to think a little bit more about how to, I don't know, because again, I do want to make this video for them, dedicated for them. So I want to write it in a way that feels special, and I want to be careful. Again, I'll have to talk about this more on the podcast, but I really don't want it to be. I don't want it to somehow make it. God damn it! I wasn't sharing my screen. I don't want it to make it about me, and I don't want it to feel like gross, like I'm using the situation for views or something, because I'm not. But I can kind of tell. I could see that people might see it that way, and so I want to really be careful with that. So it's going to take some time for me to sort of plan it, and make it good, make it nice. Because I don't talk to, but I have spoken to Betty's sister. And I got to think about she's going to watch it, and I want to respect her wishes as well. So there's just I don't know, there's a bit more to think about. But these roads look really nice. They look great. And I think it's worth exploring. It looks like a nice part of Taiwan. And I've never been really to Yangmingshan, really. I never got to explore it, and it looks really fucking pretty. I'm trying to find a spot where the trees give way and you can actually kind of see a bit of a view, but right now my internet's starting to fail me. Expedia is good. I booked a nice hotel next week at Jiufen just for overnight, 2,300 NT. Again, don't you find 2,300 NT? I'm thinking like pre-COVID Taiwan prices where 2,300 NT would get you like a 5-star hotel, You don't need a hotel, but where the fuck? Yeah, just sleep on the street again. Yeah. Go hiking up some summits. Even if Betty hasn't went there, she would have wanted to go there. Yeah. Yeah, I reckon she would have really liked it. I think generally speaking, it's just the adventure. It's just the fun. Fuck it. You just go, and you just see if it's good and have fun that way, a little solo adventure. Because I never really liked solo adventuring. I used to, if I ever rode my motorcycle around, I'd go with Alan or I'd go with my buddy Andre. We'd ride around the island. Or back in China, I would go with Sea Milk, you know. I never really did much solo traveling, but Dion and Betty fucking loved solo traveling. They solo traveled everywhere, all over the goddamn place. And I kind of wonder what that's about. But this road I'm particularly excited for. It looks really cool. I like this idea of having, you know, the ocean there. 2,300 is not bad for a Western earning Western salaries, I guess. Yeah, I suppose it's not bad I guess if you're in that position. But like Jason says, Prozzy is poor. That's fucking embarrassing. This is the only way I can make any goddamn money. But so yeah, so far we can afford a $113 hotel, or maybe two, like $60 hotels. So it's not looking so bad, you guys. You know, I think I don't know whose idea was it to do the live stream from the hotel to try and pay for the hotel. I think is a good idea as well. The east side of Yangmingshan, Wanli district, is the best and most interesting. Is it? The east side, Wanli. Here. I'm guessing you mean the coast, because you did say east coast. Let's check out this big road here. Oh, well, they even have a beach. I didn't know they had a beach here. This is quite nice. Do you reckon they've got any bodles? If they've got a bodle in this district, I am definitely here. Am I showing my screen? Yeah, I am. Okay, good. I actually will make it a point to visit this place. This is cool. I didn't realize they have a... Is it a bodle? No. It's cool looking, though. I've never been to this place. I've been like all over Taiwan, particularly the south. But the north, for whatever reason, I haven't explored a whole lot. There are some giant buildings up here. What are these like? They're either resorts or like luxury apartment buildings. I'm not entirely sure. How fucking cool would it be if we found a bodle here? A botel. Where did those big ass buildings go? I don't know. Would this be your first solo travel? It would be my first solo travel with no sort of goal in mind. Like I said, I did drive to Taipei on my motorcycle once years ago. But that, you know, that was to go see my agents when they still talked to me, back when I was making money. This would be like my first proper by myself, you know. I'm sure I would meet people on the way. Like I'll see Marco and stuff as I'm passing by. Anyone else who's in Taipei, whatever. Stage says, I almost always solo travel. It just frees you up so much. There's no need to consider anyone else's time or preferences. You think of something, then you just go. Yeah, that's what I hear a lot. A lot of people, I hear that a lot from people who solo travel. They just like not having the hassle of having to plan shit. Like, oftentimes if you're in a group of like, you know, 4 or 5 people or whatever, and you have to plan shit, fucking nothing gets done. You know. And when I used to travel more, like went on little adventures, I used to be a fucking complete alcoholic, you know. So and it didn't matter to me. Like I did 2 Huandaos, 3 I think, 2.5 Huandaos with my buddy Andre. And we worked out great together because all we ever wanted to do was get fucking loaded. So our plans were the same. We would drive to a city, find a bar, sit in the bar, get as drunk as we could, go back to the hotel, sleep, wake up, drive to the next city, find a bar. Like it was just like that, you know? So this honestly would be my first solo traveling and not really knowing what to do, because back when I was drinking, I loved going on adventures so much because it was just like a new place to go drinking in. And this is the first time I'd have to like try and find something to do that doesn't involve getting fucking blasted off my face, you know? Thing is, for half the price, said Westerner would have a lot of fun in Japan. Yeah, exactly. I got a hotel in Tokyo, like in whatever the foreign district is, Akibakaba, whatever the fuck. I don't fucking know Japanese. And it was like 2,500 NT a night in Tokyo for like a whatever. My hotel wasn't big, but it was like nice enough. I couldn't believe it. Japan is getting expensive as well. I don't think it is. We should all club together and start a new chain of botels. Fuck yeah, investments start here. Super chat's all in, dog. We'll start our own series of botels. It gives you special deep moments. You will have a different perspective of life and learn a lot more about yourself. I suppose, yeah, if you're talking about solo traveling, maybe. Yen continues to get weaker though. There was a little bounce, but it's going back the other way again. Yeah, I think the Americans tried to help prop it back up again, but man, don't see a way out for, at least I don't see an easy way out for Japan. It's fucked. Like, both Korea and Japan, like, aren't really gonna be a country in a few years, you know? Like, if they can't get their population under control and stop their currencies from crashing, I just don't understand what they're gonna do, you know? Unless, like, they get saved by AI, like the lack of workforce is replaced by AI and they become great again, I don't know. Bike camping would only cost you a few items from Decathlon and make a nice series of videos. I did think about that, but I don't know the legality of camping in Taiwan, right? Like, if I'm up around Taipei, oh, fuck me. Can you imagine camping around this time of year in Taiwan, though? I would not sleep at all. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, it's nighttime. It's still like 30 degrees outside. It'd be fucking brutal. But I like that idea for like the winter time. Akihabara in Japanese, it's shortened to whatever. Okay, yeah. I don't even think it was that. It was somewhere else. Now it's gonna bother me. I gotta find this fucking hotel now. Oh, not the hotel, this part of Japan. It was called... It was called this area, Asakusa. That's where I was. You will enjoy being with yourself in this special trip. I hope so. I don't really know what to expect. Japan is so crowded now. I mean, no. Tokyo is crowded now. The rest of Japan's fucking empty. I think the boat hotel is in Jinshan, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It's on Yeongmingshan. Highly recommend Saigon. Very affordable for food, hotels, transportation, and lots of options for day trips. Plus, as a bonus, some exceptionally friendly people. Only downside is airport lines. Yeah, I've never been, but who knows? Saigon and Hanoi, pretty cool, but even more stuff to do outside the major cities. Yeah, I don't really... I don't know about Southeast Asia. I really like the Philippines, but I don't know. Again, I don't even have enough money to fucking do this trip for this nice video I want to make. So I'm not traveling anywhere, really. I gotta figure out a way to make money, which means I gotta make better videos. Which is what I'm trying to do. But yeah, Asakusa, that's where I was. Okie dokie, let's see. It is 1:20 in the morning. I say we go to Italy. Fuck, dude, yeah, if you're paying for it, I'm there. I apologize that this live stream got a little emotional earlier. I did not expect that. I won't have a video for this weekend, unfortunately. Maybe I can do another live stream. Who knows? But yes, thank you for all of the super chats. I hope I can make this video. I really hope I can make this video. So yeah, Skidla with the $30 is making it happen. You mad with the $5 Australian. Lawrence Bilton or UK Maxi with the £10 or euros, I can't even know. Thank you. This is a cash 500 NT. Vanessa, who's gone to bed, is $20 Australian, $10 Australian from UMAD, and there was more, but my chat has ended. But thank you for that donations. I will put that to the cost of things like petrol, hotel fees. I gotta pay the insurance on my bikes or I'll get arrested. Not arrested, but I'll get pulled over and they'll take my bike, so that has to get sorted out. And yeah, all the other costs that go into making a video like that. I should have called it the motorcycle video trip to Taipei fund. That would have been better. Keep Prozzy's income just enough to survive, but not enough to buy a plane ticket out of Taiwan. That is exactly the position I'm in right now. Yeah, another live stream, Botel Room Fund. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing another one. Oh, you mad? Another $5. Thank you so much. Good stream tonight. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope it was, I don't know. I hope you enjoyed it. No need for apologies, dude. You just made me shed some tears as well. Ah, shit. Yeah, I mean, you know, again, for some of you guys that are with us on the podcast, you know, like Betty and Dion were quite popular over there, so they meant a great deal. They mean a great deal. So I hope I can make that video. So yeah, appreciate all your support. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night, and I will